You'll love in the world of media a bit of a leadership contest. All the Conservatives kept us entertained in the world of journalism, didn't they? Constant runners and riders. Sir Graham Brady, out he comes again, counting his envelopes. Factions, infighting, plotting, dastardly manoeuvres. It was like being, sitting on the edge of your seat at the cinema watching a political thriller. I'm a little more underwhelmed, I must admit, by the Labour deputy leadership contest. Not only because every single contestant seems to be the same sort of blueprint of the one before, some sort of, straight talking woman, leftist, socialist. I'm a woman, I want to be the next ever woman to be a deputy leader. But they're just a bunch of dismal characters, quite frankly. But I do need someone to try and inject some energy into it, and I know exactly where to go, because if you want the political gossip, the scandal and the intrigue, it is got to be Guido Fawkes. So let's welcome the editorial director from there, Adam Cherry, to the programme. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, thanks for having me.
Right, now try and make this sound spicy, because now old Lego head the third, Bridget Phillipson, sort of trademark Marxist fringe, has thrown her hat into the ring. I kind of feel this is potentially done and dusted.
I don't know if it's done and dusted, and perhaps their personal politics are less interesting and they overlap in many respects, but the political consequences, I think, are, as you described it, slightly more spicy. Because unless it is Bridget Phillipson, who does have an early lead, although there's still some way to go before we reach the conclusion of this in October, certainly the other two leading candidates, or the other two candidates with the most nominations coming in, are strongly opposed to Starmer's agenda, or at least personally have a reason to dislike him. Why? Well, in Bridget Phillipson's case, she's in the cabinet, so of course Downing Street want her to win. But second place, you had Lucy Powell. And Lucy Powell was only sacked, 5 days ago as leader of the House of Commons, and is also very, very close to Andy Burnham, the King of the North, who himself has personal ambitions. Behind her, you have Bella Biro Addy, who's very much on the left flank of the party. Behind her, you have Dame Emily Thornberry, who, only had 7 nominations as of yesterday. That may change. As I say, still some way to go. She was the shadow attorney general leading into the general election. She was very loyal. And then as soon as they came into government, she was the only shadow minister not to make it into the government at all. Personally, for what it's worth, I'm not sure any of these candidates are particularly wanting an endorsement from Guido Fawkes, but I'll give it anyway, because I'd quite like Emily Thornberry to give it a go. Don't like her personal politics, but then again, none of these people are going to be Roger Scruton. She is the only one, I think, that has any sort of semblance of authenticity. Like I said, politics, whatever, not so much, but at least someone with a bit of a personality in quite a dull field.
I know what you mean, actually. I mean, she's that woman that I love to hate. She is a sort of person, whereas Lucy Powell is instantly forgettable. So I understand where you were coming from on that one. Let's talk about old blimmin' Nicola Sturgeon. I don't understand how these people do it. They run their countries into the ground. Everything's a mess in Scotland. They're digging up her front lawn one minute because of missing party monies, as if she's got bodies buried underneath it. She sort of gets unceremoniously dumped when it's all about, men, women, all the same to me. And of course, the media loved her, didn't they? Nicola Sturgeon could sneeze and the whole world had to listen. At one point during COVID, I thought she was the one actually running the country because she's a woman. Oh, she's a woman. So all the sort of, legacy channels like, isn't that amazing? And she repeats the same things herself. She's now banging on that Angela Rayner has been treated unfairly over this tax scandal because she's a working class woman. I wonder if Nicola Sturgeon also thinks that Margaret Thatcher was treated unfairly because she was a working class woman.
Well, Nicola Sturgeon's got a book to sell, so of course she's got to squawk to get some publicity. Broadly speaking, though, people on the left don't like Upham, right? I'm pretty sure if Boris Johnson or whoever, Nadhim Zahawi, whoever else had some sort of similar scandal, it would have been Nicola Sturgeon who was first in line to say that he should resign, he's a terrible person, his politics are awful, etc., etc. As soon as it's someone of their tribe, they're different parties, but ideologically they're kind of within the same milieu. Suddenly they don't like it Upham. So fine, this is politics. You know what you're signing up for. The game is the game. Get with the programme.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. She sort of contradicts herself, as she so often does, saying lots of rich men get away with a lot of stuff. There's no doubt she's treated differently because she's a working class woman. That doesn't mean she has to be held to lower standards. So what are you saying then, Nicola? I'm absolutely sick to death of this. It's because she's a woman. I mean, Rayner, in my book, is being held bang to rights. What surprises me most is more isn't made of the fact. I mean, there's the weirdness of the trust fund and the compensation money to the son, and where did she get, if she had £4 million, where did it come from, and how can she afford £800,000 on a mortgage? But to me, the glaringly hypocritical thing is she's decided, as Deputy Prime Minister, or former Deputy Prime Minister, and the person who oversees election standards, she decided she didn't want to live in a constituency but moved to the other side of the country from it. And then the same people going, well, that's fine, had a go at Nigel for flying over to America to say hello to his mate Donald.
Well, I think that is ultimately what did it for Angela Rayner. It wasn't any specific part of the allegations, although there was plenty to dig into. It was ultimately the hypocrisy. She was the cheerleader for several years against the previous government, of which there was plenty to criticise, but nonetheless, she was the one demanding they resign for so much as sneezing. And then when there's a whiff of scandal around her own circumstances, suddenly you have the likes of Nicola Sturgeon and others rallying around her, suggesting that this is all some sort of right-wing plot. It isn't. It is just being consistent. Look, another thing about Angela Rayner is now that she sits on the back benches, she becomes a much more interesting political figure to watch, because she will be a thorn in the side of Keir Starmer over the next several years. What has she got to lose? She can now build up her left-wing credentials. She was previously, so to speak, inside the tent going out. Now she's outside the tent. So what else is she going to do but organise against him? Who knows? She might be back very soon, perhaps in the next couple of years.
See, I think it's actually all part of some sort of ginger cabal. That's my theory. And maybe, Adam, there's a sort of strawberry blonde. You're in on it as well.
Yeah. I identify as strawberry blonde. Thank you very much.
There you are. Yeah, you're sort of a halfway house. Adam, thank you ever so much. It's been fantastic catching up with you.